I bet that Switzerland is on everyone's bucket list. But you know what? If you are still deciding which city to visit, I can help you narrow down your choices, as I recommend visiting Geneva first. This is the perfect destination, especially from September to November, as the autumn season makes the weather more comfortable and the day a little longer. So make sure to watch this video until the end. You don't want to miss the 10 things to do in Geneva, Switzerland during the autumn season. But before we begin, like this video and hit the subscribe button. You can also turn on the notification bell to keep you updated on my next uploads. How about you? What's your dream Geneva destination? Feel free to share it in the comments section below. Now, let's get into it. Starting off the list at number 10 is bike on the lakeside. Well, walking is great, but strolling on a bicycle is another level of greatness. You can pedal as fast or slow as you want, and that won't change the gorgeousness of Lake Geneva. However, I recommend cycling slowly and calmly so you'll have enough time to observe the fall colors, the lake itself, and the adorable swans swimming there. Plus, it is more relaxing if you pedal slowly. You may start your route at Parc de la Perle du Lac, and then feel free to follow the water path. Biking on the lakeside is an enjoyable activity when you are alone, and it becomes more fun and romantic if you do it with a friend, a loved one, or your family. The best thing is that you can just borrow a bicycle from Geneva. Next at number 9 is museum hopping. In my case, it has become a habit to include museums in my itinerary whenever I travel. That's why I am so delighted that I can go to museum hopping in Geneva, which means you can do it. Whether you prefer to walk or bike, there's always a museum nearby that you can reach very conveniently and without spending too much on transportation. The museum selections are also diverse so that you can satisfy your interests. There are museums for arts and culture, such as the Ariana Museum at the Swiss Museum of Ceramics and Glass, history and heritage museums, like the International Museum of the Reformation, and of course, museums dedicated to science, just like the Museum of Natural History. Next in line at number 8 is find treasures in flea markets. If you are an avid traveler, I'm sure you allot a day and a budget for some shopping. But to make your shopping more interesting, why don't you go to a flea market and look for the most unique and interesting Geneva thing you can ever see? You can find a flea market near you wherever you are in Geneva. There's one in Carouge every first Sunday of March to October, while the one in Nyon takes place every last of the month. There's also an open-air flea market in Place du Marche. But aside from hunting for antiques, going to a flea market can also be your catching up with friends days, as local cafes and restaurants are also available in the market and serve the best coffee and Swiss dishes. Coming in at number 7 is visit Botanical Gardens. If you want a slow and relaxed tour after a hectic one in the city proper, I recommend spending a few hours or even half a day in some botanical gardens. Even if you are traveling with your family and friends, the whole group will surely need and enjoy taking a walk and fresh air in the gardens. Plus, it can be an educational destination for the kids. There's the Geneva Botanical Gardens and Conservatory, for example, where you can see over 16,000 species of flora, a herbarium that houses the world's largest collection of plants and fungi, and other facilities such as cafes and restaurants, libraries, and shops. The best thing is that most botanical gardens in Geneva are open to the public for free. Next at number 6 is attending local events. To further immerse yourself in the life and culture in Geneva, you can also attend some local events. Autumn in Geneva is also rich in celebrations that can make your visit there more meaningful. For instance, there's an annual trick-or-treating event in Geneva in the last week of October where you can see the kids, sometimes even adults, dress in scary or silly costumes. The Autumn Fest Geneva self-guided jack-o'-lantern walk is another local's favorite event, which is like a big outdoor business fair. You can also attend the Geneva Women's Club Artisan Market, where you can buy handmade home decor, and the sales will benefit chosen charities. Now, before we continue with the list, please subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps us to bring you more content. And please remember to turn on the notification icon so you will get all of our travel videos. Let's continue with number 5. Pick your own fruits and vegetables. Wherever you go, the autumn season will not really complete without the harvest season. What's more fun is that you can pick your own harvest. All you have to do is go to the countryside of Geneva, and visit the farms, vegetables, and fruit producers there. Most of them welcome the locals and tourists to their farms and accompany them to pick their carefully locally grown fruits and vegetables. Aside from the actual picking and harvesting, you can also get a chance to see a closer view of the fall foliage. Some of the products that you can pick are apples, pears, grapes, and potatoes. Most of it is seasonal produce, so make sure to pick as much as you need. Next, at number 4 is taste local products and delicacies. Autumn in Geneva is also the perfect time for a food trip. Aside from satisfying your stomach and tongue, you can also grasp what daily life in Geneva feels like when trying their local products and delicacies. Some that you should not really miss are first the cardons, which is a thistle-like vegetable that you can eat fresh or keep in a jar first. The lonjol sausage, best served with potatoes, fennels, lentils, and even cardons. And the rissoles au pois, which is a puff pastry filled with pear. Coming in at number 3 on the list is take a relaxing cruise along the Rhone. If you have prepared for your Switzerland trip and have a bigger budget, I highly suggest taking a relaxing cruise along the Rhone for an absolute vacation feel. I assure you that it is worth spending, and is really relaxing because the Rhone is naturally a quiet and calm river in Geneva. Not to mention that it is also one of the longest. A cruise here is delightful during autumn, as you can clearly see the magical phenomenon of fall foliage. A cruise usually takes 3 hours, enough time to get sufficient rest. The cruise trip also passes by the Geneva countryside, so you can see it. Next, at number 2 on the list is discover Geneva's most beautiful spots for autumn photos. Of course, because Switzerland is one of the most beautiful and photogenic countries worldwide, do not miss the opportunity to capture the best photos in Geneva. Geneva is a beautiful city all year round. However, it becomes gorgeous during the autumn season because of the magic of the fall foliage. Fortunately, there are perfect spots in Geneva where you can capture the beautiful scenery. You can visit the Parc des Bastions with over 200 species of trees, the Jonction, where the trees and waters make an excellent picture subject, or the La Perle du Lac to take pictures from a higher spot. Whether you like to print or share on your social media, the call is yours. What matters the most is that you keep the memory in a photograph. And now, the number 1 on the list is experience wine tasting in Geneva's countryside. Of course, autumn is not autumn without wine, and the countryside of Geneva has lots of it, especially since it is Switzerland's 3rd largest wine producer. In particular, you can go to the village of Pissy because they open their doors to wine lovers, which means you can taste their finest wines and even join a workshop. If you want a more thorough experience, you can also visit the vineyards, where you can observe the whole process of harvesting grapes up to turning them into wine. There are also restaurants scattered in the villages where you can pair your wine with delicious Swiss dishes. There you go. Those are the 10 things to do in Geneva, Switzerland during autumn season. Including these things in your travel plans will surely work wonders for your experience. Again, please make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments section below. Until next time.